What episode is this? 6, dude. We've done a lot of these already. 6th episode, back at the shop. Super excited to be here. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the past episodes. Today we're going to give you an update on this BMW E36 that we've been referring to in the past episodes. I think we had done some sound system work with you guys, a couple different things, but today is kind of like the real cream of the crop stuff. We're getting into the Supercharger, so let's check it out. Oh yeah. There we go. This is a BMW M3. Let's see what year this one is. Yeah, 99. So this is the last year for the E36 M3, which is really cool. This is an S52 motor, OBD2. It's an inline 6 M-Power motor, found in the E36 M3s, and we're going to be supercharging it. It's an active supercharger right here, so we're really excited for this. Everything's coming along pretty well. The engine's really clean. Maintenance is all up to date, which I would definitely suggest before you do something along these lines. So we're pretty excited. We're going to have some good results. Brian's working on it, and Brian's a kick-ass mechanic, so we know it's going to come out great. But you can see right here we have the supercharger mounted. A bunch of parts still there. We're still waiting to do some fuel lines, the intake itself, different parts like that. But we really got the gist of it. The billet bracket is beautiful. Charger's on there, so it's looking really good. We're almost there. Nice little adjustment rod right here, which is pretty cool. So this way you can get your tension right on the belt. And I'm excited to see this one boost down the block. It's been a long time coming. Next is air suspension. We haven't got to that recently. We've been super swamped. We were supposed to get to this a couple weeks ago actually, but that I think is going to be last on the list. So right now Brian's knocking out the supercharger.
You know it's good and ready when start smelling a little of that bacon sizzle, you know? The difference between this belt and the stock belt is this belt is made for superchargers, so therefore it's like very thick. It's like 1/4 inch thick almost. The stock belt is an 1/8 inch thick. Damn still. Got it.
Just installed some KC highlights, LED daylighters right here in the front. It's got a nice little bracket that goes behind the license plate. We actually modified this a little bit, so the mounting points would normally just go straight through the plastic bumper. But what we did is we actually went through the bumper into the crash bar and set 2 riv nuts in the crash bar so that you can put a screw through the plate, the bracket, and then into the crash bar for the strongest, most solid foundation possible given the situation. Hell yeah. Now this will probably just give him more like closer light distance. So it'll throw light strong but not too far because they're positioned lower. So if there's any potholes or anything in the road, this will be very good. If you wanted something to light up more distant, you would have to bring a light higher up, maybe a light bar or something with a rack up there. But this will be good for like that immediate trail run. We outfitted everything for a life on the road. It's pretty cool. Let's go see what's going on in here. Stand straight up, which is wonderful. I'm kind of tall, so that works really well. But yeah, check it out. It seems like over here, it's got a sleeping setup, sink, probably storage. Maybe there's some kind of bathroom. This is like the ultimate vehicle to travel and tour all these wonderful national parks, especially now during the pandemic. You can get out there and do your camping, you and your family, all separated from society. Really, really cool. So this is a badass setup, man. Yeah, very happy to be able to put the driving lights on this one. So this is really cool. This is sick, dude. Maybe he's got like a battery setup. I don't know, more storage here. Super sweet.
Yeah.
ProMaster's fire, dude. Look at the table. So I guess you flip this down, flip this down. This is great. Goes to show, man, you can really make something, right? If you do it like efficiently and ergonomically, you can make a good setup out of a small space. So this shit is sick, dude. Look at this. All 110 input, USB charging, fans. Wonderful. Wouldn't be a day at TCS without some Jeep Wrangler service, right? So today we're doing a very, very popular job. We do these all the time for the Wranglers. Front end service. When you lift the Wranglers, obviously you're taking care of the suspension portion, but the actual steering portion needs to be taken care of too whenever you have larger wheels and tires and more heavy duty components, right? So if you check out the front ends here, today we're going to be beefing this up. Now for the most part, all this stuff is stock parts except for two pieces here. One, his steering stabilizer, and two, his track bar. These are pretty weathered though, and you can see right here the seal is kind of blowing on the steering stabilizer and it's leaking. So I think this one's going to be tossed as well. But today for sure we're going to be changing his tie rod, his steering stabilizer, his drag link, and this track bar is upgraded. We're going to check the bushings on it, make sure there's no play, and if it's decent we're going to let it rock. But if not, we're going to swap that out too. Last but not least, the ball joints. So if you see at the end of the differential, you're going to have your lower and upper ball joints, and the same for the passenger side. So these are all going to get changed as well. And all that stuff is going to translate into more direct feeling, stronger feel, and just more beefed up components. Even if these pieces are in decent condition, meaning like the ends of the tie rods and the ball joint areas aren't blown out, and let's say they're in good condition, what happens to them anyway is they tend to bow and they tend to flex just because everything's so much more beefed up on these trucks. They're not really designed to work against the 35-inch tire with a heavier wheel, right? So even again, if they're not blown out on your truck and you have a visual inspection, they look okay, they're actually bowing and flexing under pressure when you're driving, so you're not really getting the most direct steering feel that you can. So very, very important to take care of your front end components when you're lifting your Wrangler. We do them all the time here at the custom shop. We're going to be using some TerraFlex components today, larger, heavier gauge, thicker bars made out of chromoly. So he's going to be have a lot more steering feel and a lot better road manners after this upgrade. So very important. I just finished the consultation with my buddy Jose. He's got a beautiful F10 550i BMW. We did some great mods to it. I just want to show you guys a couple of things we did here. We started off with a nice chrome delete, carbon fiber rear trunk spoiler. We actually added a really cool Soul Performance exhaust. Now this exhaust, they really don't make for 550i, but they do make for M5. Now being that this was a 550i M Sport, it was a little easier for us to adapt it, but we had to do a little welding and extensions of the piping to be able to fit the M5 exhaust on the 550i. So it sounds great. He's one of the only people I know with that setup, which is really cool. We also added some H&R springs and then some BBS wheels. So nice 20-inch BBS staggered wheels on Michelin tires. The car looks absolutely beautiful. He's on Instagram as Dad's F10 or Dad's 550. So it's great. It's a family hauler, but it's got a lot of power. And it does really, really good on the back roads when we take him on some drives with us. But check out the car. It looks absolutely beautiful. If you like the M5, you'll definitely like the 550i. It's a little more reserved, but it still has that V8 power. Really beautiful car. We also recently tuned it with a boot mode stage 1 flash, so it makes a good amount of power. Alright, so this is cool. Yo, Trixie!
Are you a pitcher?
You know what I'm saying?
Are you a fucking catcher?
That's like a third base coach, right? We're going to be using this Alpine 5-channel amp. This is great. This amplifier will power all the speakers in the vehicle as well as the subwoofer. Back in the day, for all you audio heads, you remember you'd have to have like 2 huge ass amplifiers, one for your interior speakers, one for your subwoofer. Now technology's pretty cool. You can have everything in one package. So again, 5-channel amp is the way to go, especially in a smaller car like this. You can hide it under the seat, very inconspicuous. You look inside the cabin, everything looks factory, but you got a kick-ass sound system. So Alpine's the way to go. We're also a JL audio dealer. They also make some great 5-channel amplifiers. But now to get everything that you need in the size of like a small textbook or notebook is really awesome.
Yeah, he might have just now.
I was yelling at Will and it's slipping in here. What do you want me to do?
No, no. Speaker?
What's this guy want me to do?
There's a speaker over
I
there.
do sales, not installs. No, I'm kidding. Check it out. Here's the Type R.
There you go.
We're going to be replacing with. So obviously the cone is a lot cleaner. And look how much larger the magnet is. Those are going to sit nice and clean right behind the speaker. Put out way more wattage. Yeah. Remember these guys? Look at that. So way different. Cool, right? And you can see it mounted straight down here. And Anand right now is working on the tweeter. Show him, Anand. Show him your fire flush mounted tweeter. So we're going to mount the tweeter right here. So you're going to have your highs up top. And you're going to have everything else down below. So super clean, OEM plus, nice flush look. Looks like it came like that. That's how it's got to be.
Customer won't even notice that shit.
Yeah, man. All right, this is our Venom Mustang. A lot of work done to this one. Big project car. It's been here quite a while. On and off doing all those crazy modifications. Right now we're just trying to patch it up to get it back to the customer because he's got a car show he's coming up soon. He wants to go check out. So today we're just kind of repairing his air suspension. He's had a small air leak. So we're trying to figure out where it is and get that going. But this is cool. This car is designed off Venom from Marvel. So it has a Venom theme. So if you look at the wrap, under the wrap, you'll see like almost like a webbing, like a symbiote kind of stuff, which is cool. You have your compressor sitting down low with some hard lines. So sometimes with the hard lines, you know, they're really rigid, so you might get a little leak here and there. So we're gonna try to find that and get it going. But this car is really cool. It's got a Cherokee wide body on it, custom avant-garde 3-piece wheels. We're running a 19x11 in the front, 19x14 in the rear, which is huge, really cool. Anytime you got the width in the teens, I feel like that's the most badass shit. It's on Airlift 3P. It is supercharged. And Willwood big brake kit we installed as well. Not to mention all the custom aero around and some Baja design yellow fog lights, which is cool too. Carbon fiber hood, I think is about one off this hood. I think he had it specially made for him. And even the dashboard is nice because we had all the plastics on the dashboard paint splattered to kind of go with the theme that you find in the trunk and a little bit of the theme on the outside of the car too. So we're really excited to finish this up for our customer. This is Mario's car. Mario, thank you for your patience if you're watching this. We're gonna get your car back soon, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Comment se voit, mon chéri. So, today we have a E36 M3 that I now did and finished the install on the Supercharger. Tomorrow I will continue to install the oil feed lines and return lines and filters and all that jazz. But for today, I managed to get all the intake piping in, which is the hardest thing ever. I don't understand what they were thinking. There's no room for anything, but it's in there. I also had to remove the horn and cut the bracket out. There's a hole in there that now there's a cold air intake now. So there's a real cold air intake. It's basically down by like the headlight area, and there's a hole there so you can shove it in there and then make the intake stay in there while you put the remaining of the intake piping into there. But there's also a hose that connects to the diverter valve, so the diverter valve has to line up with the intake piping and all these other things that must work. A lot of vacuum on these superchargers. But in all actuality, he was supposed to get a bigger bore throttle body. That way it's just straight, like it angles the elbow straight. That goes to the intake side of the supercharger. It would have made it a lot easier for me to install everything. I would have been done probably like 3 hours ago. So yeah, but since he didn't have that and probably didn't know about it, which I didn't know until I did research, it was a pain. But the pain is now done and it's over. But besides that, I'm done. My back hurts, and I'm gonna take a few Advil and go to bed.
Oh man. Alright. I guess I gotta freestyle it. Hey everyone, what's going on? That wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for watching another episode of The Daily Grind. We really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications and give us a like. If there's any questions or comments, please drop them down below. We really appreciate it. See you on the next one. Just wanted to give a special thank you to my man Clive. He's the guy behind the lens filming all our kick-ass episodes. Make sure you check him out on YouTube too. His name is Clive, Sway Tech Digital. Peace. I want to say like, good job. It's got to be like, yo, oh yeah. And shout out to my man Sway Tech, the guy filming all this wonderful shit.